Assalamu alaikum, dear students. We will continue with chapter 1 material properties, and today's subtopic is elements, compounds, and mixture. Learning objective of today's class is to describe the difference between elements, compounds, and mixtures. You'll by the end of this video, you all should know to identify element, compound, and mixture, and also to be able to differentiate between them, to identify the difference between them, why an element is element, why the compound is a compound, and why that particular mixture is a mixture. So let's start with elements. So what are elements? So we already studied what are elements in our previous videos. We will quickly revise what are elements. Elements are pure substances that cannot be split up into two or more simpler things. That means elements are substances that cannot be split into anything simpler. All the matter around us is made up of elements. They can be represented by using chemical symbols. Like we already studied how to write chemical symbols. First letter will be capital and the second letter will be in lowercase. Then elements can exist as either atoms or molecules. Now elements can exist as either atoms or molecules. Atoms are the smallest particle of an element that have the chemical properties of that element, and molecules are a group of two or more atoms that are chemically combined. So elements can be of two types. First one, atoms, and then molecules. Atoms have only one type. Atoms have only one type of atoms in it, and molecules, when two or more types of atoms are chemically combined, they form molecules of an element. Then properties of metals and non-metals. Now all these elements that are present, including atoms and molecules, everything, they are arranged in a table called as periodic table, and this periodic table is divided into two parts: metals and non-metals. So elements can be classified into metals and non-metals. A dividing staircase line separates the metals from non-metals in the periodic table. Yes, so the periodic table, all the elements, including atoms, molecules, everything, they are divided into two parts: metals and non-metals. So we this already we studied in the previous video. This is just a revision of what we studied last. So we'll quickly revise properties of metals and non-metals. So we already studied it. Metals, it has shiny appearance, whereas non-metals, it has dull appearance. That means non-metals are dull. Then metals are solid at room temperature except mercury. Metals are solid at room temperature except mercury. Non-metals, either gases. Non-metals are either gases, volatile liquids, or solids with low melting points at room temperature except carbon. So metals are solid, and non-metals can be gas or liquid with that too with low melting point at room temperature. Then metals are malleable, ductile, and sonorous. Malleable means they can be folded, they can be converted into thin sheets. They can be ductile means they can be converted into thin wires, and sonorous means they produce sound when we hit it. And non-metals are brittle if solid. If it's in solid state, they are brittle, means they are hard, but they break easily. Like for example, glass is hard, but it breaks easily because glass is brittle. So same goes with non-metals are solid, hard, but they are brittle. Metals have high melting point and boiling point, whereas non-metals have low melting and boiling point. Metals are good conductors of heat, non-metals are poor conductors of heat. That means metals are electrical conductors and non-metals are electrical insulators. Then metals, last point, metals are good conductors of electricity in all states of matter, whether it can be liquid, gas or solid. In all states of matter, they are good conductors of heat, whereas non-metals are poor conductors of electricity, except carbon. So the second last point is thermal conductor and insulator, not electrical. Yes. And the last point goes with electrical conductors and insulators. Now, there is one more type of elements present in the periodic table. Elements that possess both the properties of metals and non-metals are called as metalloids. They have properties of both metals and non-metals. They are called as metalloids. So, let me ask you a few questions. First one, which of the following contains three elements? Option A is argon, magnesium, phosphorus. Second is brass, phosphorus, potassium. Third is chlorine, air, nitrogen. And D is petrol, alcohol and water. So let's start with the last one, petrol, alcohol and water. No, petrol, alcohol and water are mixtures and compounds, whereas they are not natural elements. Chlorine, air and nitrogen are again, they are not elements. Then brass, phosphorus and potassium. Yes, phosphorus and potassium are elements, but brass is not an element. Then option A, argon, magnesium and phosphorus. Argon is an element, magnesium is an element and phosphorus is an element. So the correct answer is option A, argon, magnesium and phosphorus. Second question, which of the following is an element here? CO, H2, HCl and HI. Yes, which of the following is an element over here? The correct answer is CO, that is cobalt. Third one, how many types of elements are there in sulfuric acid? How many types of elements are there? There are 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 sulfur atom and 4 oxygen atom. So there are 3 types of elements in sulfuric acids. Then B1, how many atoms are there in one molecule of sulfuric acid? How many atoms are there? Let's count how many atoms are there. So H2 means there are 2 hydrogen atoms. S, no number is written against S, so S is, we have only 1 sulfur atom, and 4 is written after O, oxygen. That means there are 4 oxygen atoms. So 2 plus 1 plus 4. 2 plus 1, 3 plus 4. There are total 7 atoms in one molecule of sulfuric acid. Now we'll proceed to compounds and mixture. What are compounds? First we'll see what are compounds. A compound is a substance that is made up of 2 or more elements chemically combined together. So when two or more elements chemically combine together, it is called as compound. A mixture consists of two or more substances, elements or compound that cannot chemically combine together. So when elements chemically combine together, they are called as, they form compounds, whereas when elements physically combine together, they are called as mixtures. Now let's take example of your tooth. A tooth. The white part of your teeth is called enamel. It contains atoms of three elements. The white part, the outer part that you all can see, is called as enamel, and it contains three elements. That those are calcium, phosphorus, and oxygen. Calcium is a shiny metal. Phosphorus is a poisonous solid that catches fire easily. And oxygen is a gas that helps burn things. So phosphorus is poisonous gas. It catch poisonous, and oxygen catches burns easily. So why doesn't your teeth catches fire when there's a poisonous solid, there's a poisonous element, there's an element that helps burn things? So why doesn't our teeth catches fire or poisonous? So the answer is, when these three things mix together, they form compounds. They are no more an element, they form a compound. They are chemically bonded together. So when these three elements are chemically bonded together, their chemical properties changes. With their physical properties, the chemical properties also changes. So when the chemical properties changes, phosphorus is no more a poisonous solid, and oxygen is no more a gas that helps burn things. Instead, they develop new chemical properties. So the elements in tooth enamel are not just mixed up, the atoms have joined together to make one substance, that is called as calcium phosphate. When calcium, oxygen, phosphorus, and oxygen mix together, they make up one substance called as calcium phosphate. This substance is different from all the elements that are in it. Most substances are not elements on their own. They are made up of atoms of elements joined to atoms of another elements. So these substances are called as compounds. And the properties of a compound are different from the properties of the elements in it. So this is the reason our teeth doesn't catch fire. Our teeth doesn't catch fire, and it doesn't poison us, because the chemical properties are changed when they are mixed up with other elements. Next example we can take of sodium chloride. Sodium is a shiny metal. It fizzes in water, and chlorine exists as a green smelly gas. So when these two elements mix together, they form a compound called as sodium chloride. And sodium chloride is nothing but salt that we add in food, that we used to make used while making food, to add taste to the food. Then carbon dioxide. Carbon, you you can make another we can make another compound from carbon and oxygen. Carbon dioxide have different properties than carbon and oxygen. Carbon dioxide is poisonous. However, large amount of carbon dioxide in the air makes the earth hotter. Then very simple, another very common example is water itself. Water is a compound. It is made up of elements of hydrogen and oxygen. Each water molecule has one oxygen atom joined to two hydrogen atoms, which makes up one molecule of water. One compound of water. So now, difference between compounds and mixture. Formation. How a compound is formed and how a mixture is formed. Formation: a chemical reaction takes place when compound is formed. Usually there is energy change, that is, example, heat is given off, that means we supply heat energy to it. And in mixture, no chemical change takes place when a mixture is formed. Usually there is little or no energy change. Example of mixture is, you can take for example when you mix sugar and salt, very simple. We can no chemical reaction takes place when we mix sugar and salt together, and we can easily separate it by physical means called as sieving. We can use a sieve to separate mixture of salt and sugar. Whereas if we mix salt and sugar in water, chemical reactions will take place and it will no longer be a mixture, it will become a compound. Then composition: has fixed composition by mass. Example, H2O, two units of the two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. And mixtures has variable composition of mass, that means its mass is different. Melting and boiling point has fixed melting and boiling point. So compounds have fixed melting and boiling point, whereas mixtures doesn't have fixed melting and boiling point. They melt over a range of temperatures. Then properties: has its own physical and chemical properties which are different from its element. That is, hydrogen and oxygen are gases at room temperature, water is liquid at room temperature. Whereas when hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms are single, they are gases at room temperature. Whereas water, when they mix together and form H2O, that is water, they are liquid at room temperature. Mixtures does not have its own property, it has same properties as its components. Then separation: the constituent elements can only be separated by chemical methods, because they are formed by chemical methods when they are chemically bonded together. And mixtures, the constituents can be separated from one another by physical methods. Arrangement of atoms: you all can see the arrangement of atoms. A compound of two elements, two or more atoms, types of atoms are joined together. Whereas in a mixture, many types of atoms come together but they are not chemically bonded. Okay, so question: classify the following substance as an element, a compound, or a mixture. H2O. H2O, element, compound, or a mixture. H2O is a compound because there are more than two elements, there are more than one element present in it. Copper, Cu, copper is an element. Steel is a mixture. Ice again is a compound. O2, what is O2? One type of atom. O2 is an element of oxygen. C2H5OH. How many types of atoms you all can see in it? How many types of elements you all can see in it? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and again a hydrogen. So it's a compound. Carbon is an element. Brass is a mixture. NO2 again is a compound. Air is a mixture. Seawater again is a mixture. Now we will revise the entire topic, quickly compare what's element, compounds, and mixture. Percentage composition by mass: it's fixed and constant. Fixed and constant in compounds, and mixtures have variables in it. Atoms are one type, compounds have two or more different types of atoms, and mixtures have two or more different types of atoms again. Then heating: what happens when we heat an element? Only one product forms or oxidize to one other substance. May have two or more products formed. may have two or more products form again with mixtures. Can be separated by physical means. Elements, no. Compounds, no. And mixtures, yes. Appearance, elements have only one color. Compounds again have only one color. Mixtures can be of many colors. Like in one mixture, there can be many colors. Dissolving in water. Elements, no. Compounds, no. And dissolving in water means some part will dissolve and some part will remain undissolved. So if you are dissolving an element in water, it will dissolve completely or it will remain insoluble in water. Same goes with compound, either it will dissolve completely or it will remain insoluble. Whereas mixtures, it is possible that some part dissolves and some part remains solid, some part is soluble and some part is insoluble in water. Examples: metals, Na, sodium, calcium, argon, neon, H2, Cl2, O3, P4S8. O stands for oxygen, P stands for phosphorus, S stands for calcium. Then compounds: HCl, hydrochloric acid, CO2, carbon dioxide, H2O, water, Na2SO4 is sodium sulfate. Then mixtures are crude oil, petroleum, alloys, brass, alloys like brass, steel, and bronze, air, solution, fractions from crude oil like diesel, petrol, and bitumen. Then purity or impurity. So elements are pure, compounds are pure, that means they have fixed melting and boiling point, and mixtures are impure, that means they melt over a range of temperatures. So that's all for the day. Thank you.